The Dark Figure in the Hotel Room, Las Vegas, Nevada. Chapter 1. The City That Never Sleeps. Las Vegas shimmered under the desert sun, the strip pulsing with lights, music, and laughter. Tourists wandered in and out of casinos, caught in the neon dream that promised fortunes and fantasy. For most, the city was a playground, but for Marcus Keller, it was a much-needed escape. Marcus, a 35-year-old tech consultant from Seattle, had booked a 3-day solo trip to unwind after months of non-stop work. Recently divorced and emotionally worn down, he wanted solitude in a city where no one cared who he was or what he was going through. The Bellmont Hotel, not to be confused with the upscale Bellagio, was a modest yet charming building tucked behind the glitzy strip. Built in the early 60s, it had maintained its retro aesthetic with neon signs and gold-plated elevators that creaked with every floor they ascended. Marcus booked room 604, a corner suite with a panoramic view of the lights below. He arrived on a Monday evening, checking in at around 6:45 p.m. The receptionist, a young woman with tired eyes and chipped nail polish, handed him the key card and offered a tight smile. "6th floor. Elevator's kinda slow," she said. "Oh, and if you hear anything weird at night, it's probably just the plumbing. Old building, you know?" Marcus chuckled and nodded. "Got it. No ghosts, huh?" The receptionist didn't laugh. She just stared. Chapter 2. Settling in. Room 604 was dimly lit but spacious. The curtains were heavy velvet, the carpet patterned with faded red and gold swirls. A king-sized bed dominated the room, and a small desk sat near the window. Marcus tossed his suitcase onto the chair and collapsed on the bed, sighing with relief. After a quick shower, he ordered room service and flipped on the TV, settling in with a burger and fries. The news played in the background. Another missing person case in Clark County, the 5th one in 2 months. "Must be something in the water," he muttered, switching to a movie instead. Around 1:30 a.m., Marcus began drifting off, the city lights flickering faintly through the thick curtains. As he closed his eyes, a strange chill crept into the room. He reached for the remote to adjust the thermostat, but stopped. The remote wasn't where he left it. It was on the floor near the window. He frowned. Maybe I knocked it off. He shrugged it off, retrieved it, and turned up the heat before climbing back into bed. That's when he saw it. In the reflection of the TV screen, standing in the corner of the room, was a dark figure, motionless, featureless. It looked like a silhouette of a man, tall and broad-shouldered. No eyes, no face. Marcus spun around, heart hammering. The corner was empty. Nothing but his suitcase and a floor lamp. He laughed nervously. Jet lag's messing with me. But as he turned off the TV and settled into the sheets, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was still watching. Chapter 3. Shadows and Whispers. The next morning, Marcus chalked up the experience to exhaustion. He spent the day walking along the strip, playing blackjack at the Bellagio, and enjoying a few overpriced cocktails. By the time he returned to the Bellmont, it was nearly midnight. Room 604 welcomed him with silence. He turned on the lights, checked the bathroom, the closet, even under the bed. No dark figure, no reflection, just paranoia. Still, he couldn't help but glance over his shoulder as he brushed his teeth. The mirror reflected only him, tired, slightly buzzed, and questioning his sanity. That night, as he lay in bed scrolling through his phone, the room suddenly went dark. All at once. TV, lights, even the digital clock. Power outage? He fumbled for his phone's flashlight and shined it around the room. The hallway outside remained lit, faint golden light leaking from beneath the door. So, not a building outage. Just room 604. As he moved toward the bedside lamp, his phone's flashlight flickered and died. "Come on!" Then, from behind him, a low creak, like a footstep. He turned fast. There it was, the dark figure, not in the corner, but right next to the bed, standing completely still, towering over him, a mass of darkness, like a man made of shadow. Marcus staggered back, heart threatening to explode from his chest, and then it vanished. The lights flicked back on, the TV resumed playing, everything. Normal. Except Marcus. He barely slept that night. Chapter 4. Uncovering the Past. The next morning, Marcus went downstairs to the front desk. The same woman was there, eyes darker than before. "Hey," he said carefully. I had a weird night. I think someone might have broken into my room." She stared at him. "Room 604? "Yeah." She glanced over her shoulder, then leaned in. "You should switch rooms." "Why?" But she didn't answer. Instead, she wrote a number on a sticky note and slid it across the counter. "Call this guy. He used to work here. Knows things." Before Marcus could ask more, a man appeared behind the desk, and she quickly straightened up, returning to her professional posture. Confused but intrigued, Marcus stepped out and called the number. A gruff voice answered. "Yeah?" "Hi. The front desk at the Bellmont gave me your number. I'm staying in room 604 and—" "Jesus Christ," the man cut in. "They're still booking that room?" There was a long pause. Then, "Meet me. There's a diner 2 blocks east. Noon. Don't stay in that room tonight." Chapter 5. The Bellmont Incident. The diner was a greasy spoon kind of place, smelled like burnt coffee and bacon grease. The man waiting for Marcus was in his 60s, heavy-set, with yellow-stained fingers and deep bags under his eyes. "Name's Hank," he said. "I was head of maintenance at the Bellmont for 20 years. Marcus nodded, eager. "What's with room 604? Hank sighed. "Place has history. Back in '72, a traveling salesman named Daniel Thorne checked into 604. Stayed a week. People complained about strange smells and noises. When the maid finally went in," he paused, "they found Thorne hanging from the ceiling fan, naked, smiling, blood everywhere." Marcus flinched. Smiling? Like he was proud of something, but that wasn't the end of it. A month later, a newlywed couple stayed in 604. Wife vanished in the night. Husband woke up to find the closet door wide open. Said he saw someone inside, watching. Marcus swallowed. What happened to him? Checked into a psych ward. Never left. Hank leaned closer. People think Thorne's ghost never left the room. Some say he was into dark stuff, occult, rituals, left markings under the bed and behind the walls, like summoning symbols. Marcus stared. "You're serious?" Hank nodded. "I had the room sealed for years, but new management didn't care. Business is business. Why haven't they cleansed it, or at least warned people?" Hank snorted. "You ever seen how much a haunted room can make in Vegas?" Marcus didn't answer. Because he already knew. Chapter 6. The Night from Hell. That night, Marcus returned to room 604, not to sleep, but to gather his things. He was ready to check into another hotel or even sleep in his rental car. As he packed, the door slammed shut behind him. He ran to it. Wouldn't open. Deadbolt jammed. "Come on, come on!" He yanked and pulled. The lights flickered, then dimmed. He turned slowly. The figure was back, but this time, it moved. It took one step forward, then another. Its presence filled the room with suffocating cold. Marcus backed into the wall, his breath visible in the freezing air. The figure raised an arm and pointed, not at Marcus, but toward the bathroom. Compelled by fear, Marcus turned and saw that the mirror had fogged over. Words written in condensation. "Stay!" Marcus screamed, grabbed the chair, and threw it at the window. The glass shattered. He climbed out onto the fire escape, barely escaping the room as the lights inside went out completely, swallowed by darkness. Chapter 7. Aftermath. Marcus never returned to room 604. He checked into a Motel 6 across town and slept with the lights on for days. When he returned to Seattle, he couldn't stop thinking about the figure, about the message in the mirror. He tried to find out more about Daniel Thorne. Found a single archived article from 1972. It mentioned a suicide, but also hinted at a police investigation into missing hotel staff members. 3 maids had vanished over the course of that year, all last seen cleaning the 6th floor. All files sealed. He called the Bellmont one last time, asking about room 604. The receptionist told him there was no such room. "That room's been out of service since 1983, she said, "but I stayed there last week." "Impossible," she replied. "Room 604 was demolished after the fire." "What fire?" "The one that killed the entire 6th floor staff. The hotel never recovered. We only operate up to the 5th floor now." Click. The line went dead. Epilogue. The figure remains. In Las Vegas, beneath the glitter and glamour, some things stay buried. Room 604 was never truly gone. Not in the spiritual sense. Travelers still report seeing a dark figure in reflections, a presence in mirrors, a cold spot in the hallway where the 6th floor used to be. And sometimes, late at night, the elevator still tries to go up, past the 5th floor, to somewhere that shouldn't exist, to room 604, where the dark figure waits, watching.